Good morning, my dear friends, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program that is organized by Shri Gyan Mishra Vidyapith. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. Let's have a quick recap to whatever we did in our last lecture. Natural resources, this is the chapter we are doing from NCERT based. Resource. What is resource? A supply. Stock or supply of any material that is useful to us, that is called as resource. It can be man-made, it can be natural. Natural are those which are existing in the nature. Example of natural resources are land, water, air, the very common one. Then the four main spheres, the land, lithosphere, water, hydrosphere, atmosphere, the air, and the combination of all three, that is biosphere, which makes the living things possible. Coming to the lithosphere. Lithosphere is also called as the geosphere. What will it include? It will include the crust and the uppermost mantle, which contains the outer rigid layer. Then hydrosphere. Meaning of the word hydro is water, and it is comprising of all the things that is present on the surface of the earth, which is oceans, rivers, lakes. Above the hydrosphere, even in the atmosphere, it is existing in the form of the vapors, and below ocean, you already know that. Atmosphere, that is meaning of the word atmos. What it does mean? It means air. Then comes biosphere. Meaning of the word bio is what? The thing that is containing life. And how it is possible? It is possible by lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. And it is including two components. Which are those two components? Biotic and abiotic. Biotic means all the living component. Abiotic means all the living components. Non-living components, which are air, water, and soil. But ultimately they are beneficial to us. Then next, about the air. What is air? Mixture of various gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide. Now carbon dioxide, how it is produced? By the breakdown of glucose in the human body. That is the respiration process. And next is the combustion of fuels. Next is how can be carbon dioxide fixed in the atmosphere? All the gases are fixed, but here it is given about carbon dioxide. So we will deal with carbon dioxide. It is converted by the green plants. They will convert the oxygen into carbon dioxide by the process of their photosynthesis. And marine animals, they will use the carbonates dissolved in the seawater to make their shells. Next, how will the temperature remain constant? That is how is the air responsible for making the temperature constant. This is what we had discussed last time. The land and the water. Through the land, the air will get heated up. Through the water, again, the water droplets, they will move the air over here. This air will move very quickly up. Why? Because that is the reason. Here, the air will not move very quickly. So, here the land is getting heated faster, so air will move quick away, so low pressure will be created, and always the wind goes from high to low, and this is how the direction of wind is given over here. So that is what about the role of climate control. Movement of air, that is wind. What is moving air called as wind? And how? The wind is created by heating of air and the formation of water vapor. This we have already discussed, that how the air is going from high pressure to low pressure. Which are the other things which are responsible for it? It is the rotation of the earth and the presence of mountain ranges. Again, because of the mountains, the path of the wind gets blocked, and so sometimes the directions are changed. Formation of rain, which you are doing since your lower standards. The condensation, precipitation, and evaporation, the three main processes. We will learn about it in detail again when we will be doing the water cycle. Now comes your favorite topic, which is pollution. There are many types of pollutions. If we talk about the basic word which is pollution, then since your lower standards you are learning about this air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, noise pollution, and a new one has come which is space pollution. Yes, our space, that is the universe, is also getting polluted. First of all, pollution means what? Contamination of anything, air or water or any other resource, that can be termed as pollution. If it is the contamination of air by any means, then it is called as air pollution. Contamination of water, then it will be becoming as the water pollution. Again, problem created in the land, it is land pollution. Noise pollution, about which you have already studied in class 8 in chapter, that is sound. Then comes space pollution. Yes, even in the universe we are sending the various satellites for our benefits, and sometimes what happens, the control over the satellites is just lost. Okay, you might be knowing that this is happening many times. Even once Sunita Williams, when they went up, the contact was lost, and with great difficulty they were able to come over here. Okay, so it is happening. हवा में जाते हैं, they are going in this phase. Sometimes major problems are occurring and the contact is lost. Right now, even the last time, you know, India launched one satellite on the southern portion of the moon, and you already know the heart of various Indians just broke into pieces, because what? At last moment during the landing, just of about some seconds from the landing, they lost the contact. Yes, it happens. So what is happening over there? Ultimately we are sending something and it is losing the contact, and they are roaming anywhere over there in the universe because there is no gravity. So what is happening? Ultimately we are creating a pollution in this space. God has not sent all these things. He has not kept all these things. But we are sending our materials over there. We are doing it for our own benefit. Okay, for the benefit of humans, for future generation, to know many mysteries. But ultimately it's a pollution. That is the new type of pollution, space pollution. So one by one we will have a discussion about all these four. This is just for your knowledge. Let's move further. Air pollution. Agents or substance that pollutes the air, they are called as pollutants. How can you know that air pollution has occurred? Presence or absence of certain organisms, they will include about the air pollution. The organism called as lichens, they are found to be very sensitive to the levels of contamination like sulfur dioxide in the air. Lichens can be commonly found growing on the barks of the trees as a thin greenish white crust. So with itself we can come to know that whether the proportion of the harmful gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide has increased in the earth's surface or not. So there how we can know that the air has got polluted. So all those things that are harmful to the air, they are coming under the air pollution. If I tell you to write about air pollution, this much is I think, you know, very small thing for you. You can write much big paragraphs on the air pollution. So let us not waste much of your time, and please note down the content, especially the indicators. Note down only this much. No need for more, but only this much. The indicators, this one. So I hope you have noted down this content. Now let's move further. The next part is water pollution. Some of the important things regarding the water. Water is very essential thing for life. Some portion which is written over here you already know. That is 75% of the earth is covered by water, among which 97% is the ocean water, that is the salty water you can say. 3% is the fresh water. Water is existing in the solid, liquid and gaseous form, you already know about it. And if we talk about the composition of water, then the formula is what? H2O. So what it is containing? Hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so moving to the next part. Now the next content, which is the classification of water resources. If we talk about the classification of water resources, then here it is. This blue portion is of Atlantic Ocean. Green one, it's Pacific Ocean. The red one, it's Indian Ocean. This portion over here is ice, which is present in about 2%. This black one, a small line which you can see, it is groundwater, that is present about 0.5%. And the atmosphere, which is containing the water droplets, the rivers and the lakes, they make about 0.01%. Okay. The freshwater resources, we already know they are about total 97% of the total water. That is the salt one. The saltwater resources are present of about 97% in the fresh water, just 3%. This is how the percentage wise classification of water is there. Note down this content quickly. Coming to the next part, which is importance of water. How is water important? What is the main constituent of the protoplasm? That is the part of the cell. It is the solvent through which the mineral salts are transported from one part of the plant to another, the xylem and the phloem. Various metabolic reactions are taking place in the medium which is containing water. So it is a very important part for all the metabolic process, and a life is impossible without water. So this is what the importance of water is there. Okay, protoplasm means the cytoplasm, the cell content, the fluid content. Again, all the mineral plants, they are in them also the conduction of water is taking place. All the metabolic reactions, where do they occur? In the presence of water. So this is about importance of water. There are few more. First, note down this. I hope it's visible now. The next portion regarding the importance of water. During photosynthesis, water releases the oxygen. The turgidity of growing cells it is maintained with the help of water. Various movements of the plants organs, like the movements which are insensitive plant, that is the touch me not. Once you touch it, what will happen? All the leaves will get folded up. That is the touch me not plant. Even there is quick movement of water. Why is that happening? Ultimately, water. Everything is controlled by water over there. The growth of the cells during the elongation phase is mainly depending on the absorption of water. Metabolic products of respiration, what it is? Water. Places that is having plenty of water, they have more biodiversity. The whole of the biodiversity that we will be learning, in that we are learning the content, that how much proportion of species are present in the water. So these are few more. During the photosynthesis, water releases the oxygen. The turgidity of the growing cells, that is again maintained by the water. The various movements of the plants which are sometimes insensitive to touch, like the touch me not plant. You will learn in your class 10 in detail regarding the whole of the tropism, chemotropism, which is responsible for the whole of the changes that are taking place in them. The growth of the cells, again, it is depending on water, and metabolic end product is what? Water. So this is how water is very important, and so only we need to conserve the water. Please note down this content, then we will move further. The next part, which is the water pollution. Whenever undesirable substance it is added to the water, what can we call it as? Water pollution. The main causes of the water pollution are harmful substances are getting added to the water, important things are removed from the water, and change in the water temperature. These are the main causes by which the water pollution is happening. Just note down these causes only. Only note down these causes, then we'll move further. Next important part, that is the soil. Okay, little bit more, yes. Coming to the soil, the outermost layer, uppermost layer of the earth's crust, what it is called as soil. It is containing various amount of nutrients. Over the long periods of time, that is thousands and millions of years ago, the rock at or near the surface of the earth, they got broken down, and with the help of various biological process, the thing that was formed as soil. So what is soil? It is actually a mixture that is containing of the various components like small particles of the rock. It can be of different sizes, then the bits of decayed living organisms, which is called as humus, and the various forms of the microscopic life of air and water that you already know about it. So this is what a soil is. When the definition comes, you have to write this, that is, what is soil? Ultimately a mixture that is containing small parts of rock, bits of decayed living organisms, that is called as humus, and various forms of microscopic life. So this is what a soil is. Note down only this thing. What is a soil? Quick. I hope you have noted it. Now let's move further. The factors or the process that makes the soil. First of all, what happens? How is the soil formed? The various things that are responsible, among them the very first one is the sun. Sun is giving the heat. So what will happen? The rocks during the daytime they will get heated up. So what will happen? At night, first of all, during the daytime, sun will heat the rocks, and because of it they will get expand. Okay, the heating will result in the expansion of rocks. Next, at night time, what will happen? They will cool down and contract. So what will happen? All the parts will not contract and expand, and that will be responsible for the cracks, and ultimately huge rocks will break up into the small pieces. Next factor that is responsible for the making soil. These are the various mountains, and the water. This is the river. Now river is coming from the peak of the mountain. From here, when it is coming, when it is falling from here, it will bring all the nutrients along with itself to the surface of the land. So wherever it will go. So when the river is falling from a peak height, it will bring all the nutrients that are present in the rock along with itself, and it is flowing. Because water is having high power, high energy. So it is falling, no, it will bring all small pieces of the rocks, and this is how it will get collected into the in the soil level. This is how it will make the soil. The very first one is the sun. What will the sun do? Sun will heat the rocks will get expanded. At night the temperature is low, so they will get cooled down and they will contract. All parts will not get expanded and contract, and that's the reason the soil will be formed. Next is wind. The wind will also bring all the rock materials which are present. The storm will bring all the rocks down. Okay, and this is how they will carry from one place to another the rocks, and the soil will be formed. Living organisms are also responsible for the formation of soil. Like moss, they are able to grow on the surface now, and they cause the rock to break up further. This is how they are even responsible for the formation of the soil. Types of soil is decided by the type of particles which are present in it. These things you have already studied in the types of soil and how is the soil formed, even in your lower standards. Okay, so this is how the soil is formed. Once again, how is the soil formed? Soil is formed by sun, water, wind, living organism. Sun, water, wind, and living organism. You should be able to say it now on your own. No need to even note it down. What will the sun do? It will heat up the rocks will expand. After expansion at night, it will cool down, and this is again responsible for the formation of the soil, because they will then break up and fall into the soil. Water from the higher level, when it is coming down, along with it, it will bring all the materials. Wind, it will blow from one place to another, and this is how. Storm will erode again the rocks down, and sometimes it will help out in the movement of all the particles, and this is how it is helping in the process of soil formation. Living organisms, like they have given moss over here, they are able to grow on the surface of the rocks and help in breaking up the rocks and ultimately helping in the formation of soil. Next important parameter over here is this, which is the quality of soil. Quality of a soil, very important part. How can we determine it? It is determined by the content of humus that is present in it, that is the microorganisms. The mineral nutrients that are found in the particular soil, it will depend on the rock from which it is formed. Humus is the major factor because it will, with its help, it will become more porous, and so it will allow the water to get penetrated into the deep underground and ultimately increase the groundwater level and help the plant to grow. More good the soil, more good the plants will grow. So this is how the quality of the soil can be checked. Note down this content, which is the quality of the soil. Next, factors that decide the type of the plant that will thrive on a particular soil. The nutrients content of the soil, amount of humus which is present in the soil, and the depth of the soil. Okay, with this is how we can say about any particular soil. Okay, you might be knowing about the various types of soil that you have studied in your social studies also. Red soil, black soil, alluvium soil. What are all these things? Ultimately, they are depending on these things, that is the nutrient content which is present in it, amount of humus which is present in it, and the depth of the soil. So note down these factors, then we will move further. Next, the topsoil, the uppermost layer of the soil. What it is containing? It is containing the humus and the living organism, and that is called as the topsoil. And whenever there is contamination in this thing, that is any of these things are removed, then comes soil pollution. So here it is. What is soil pollution? The removal of useful components from the soil and addition of any harmful substance into the soil that is going to affect the fertility of the soil, kill the microorganisms that will create soil pollution. Some of the very important examples that you already know that are creating soil pollution are this: the fertilizers and the pesticides. Okay, so this is what is soil pollution. If I tell you to write about soil pollution, you will be able to write more content than what is present over here. But right now, note it down quickly, then we'll move further. Then next thing, soil erosion. What is soil erosion? You already know that whenever the topmost layer of the soil is removed by wind, flowing water or any other agent, then that is called as soil erosion. Roots of the plants, they prevent soil erosion by firmly holding the particles of the soil. So only like afforestation is one of the way by which soil erosion can be stopped, because plants will hold up those particles. So note down this part of soil erosion quick. So that's all for the content of today. I hope you have understood all the content. Basically, this content is of your lower standards, but as a part of our syllabus, we'll be doing it. So that's all for the content of the day. Thank you so much for listening to me, and have a very good day. Bye bye.